नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. So we are in the conclusion of Srimad Valmiki Ramayanam. It's a long journey that we started on the Guru Purnima day of 2011. It's been a steady flow from that time. We have been going with the Ganges of Ramayana to merge with the Ganga Sagara today. We have also from time to time seen some of the other Ramayanas, including Tulasi Ramayana, Kamba Ramayana, and some of the Kavyas, etc. alongside. Tulasi Ramayana, which is and Adhyatma Ramayana, both of them being told by Shiva to Parvati and in Kailasha Parvata, the banks of the Manasarovar. We also did the Kailash Yatra somewhere in between. So now we are at the banks of the Sarayu in Ayodhya. Today we are in the Uttarakandam, the final chapters. Last time we saw how after Kala had come and had requested for a one-on-one meeting with Sri Rama, with the condition that should not be interrupted. If anybody interrupts Rama, you should put him to death. And on that condition, Kala had been speaking with him, telling him the message from Pitamaha Brahma that Rama, you had come for a certain task and for a certain period of time, and that period of time is now over, so it is time for you to come back. And the message was that you could do just as you wish. If you wish to continue for more time, that's your wish. And if you want to if you wish to come back, that's your wish. And at that time, Durvasa had come outside. We saw that, and then he had been in a tremendous hurry, and he was very, very in a virulent mood. He said, I have to speak to Rama straight away, and if you do not take me to him right now, this very second, I am going to curse not only you, I'll curse Rama, I'll curse Bharata, I'll curse the whole of Ayodhya, I'll curse all your progeny forever to come. And Lakshmana had done that calculation and said, might as well that I die rather than everybody dies. So he had gone and interrupted Rama and told him the Durvasa is at the door. And then after Kala had gone, Rama had met Durvasa. Durvasa had said, I just broken a fast. I need to break a fast. I've been doing a tapasya for 1,000 years. I just concluded it. I need to break that fast and I need some food from you. And Rama had that food served. Durvasa had it. He was very happy. He went away. But the consequence was that Lakshmana had to be put to death. Lakshmana was keen that Rama should implement that pratigya, because if you break the pratigya, then you break dharma. If you break dharma, then if Rama breaks dharma, then there will be nothing left of the universe. Rama had then called for the Purohitas and Vasishtha, etc., taken counsel, and Vasishtha had said that yes, you must do what you have promised. And one of the ways that you put a person to death is by abandoning him. So you exile him, abandon him. Don't come in front of me again. So Lakshmana had been abandoned. He had straight away gone, and he didn't go home. He went straight to the banks of Sarayu. He had a bath, and then he sat down and he closed all his senses, and in the spirit of yoga, he had raised his kundalini, and in the union of yoga, he had gone off to He was welcomed in Vishnu Loka as the 1/4 of the part of Mahavishnu. He had returned. That was where we stopped last time. So Rama is filled with extreme grief and sadness, and he told the chief Vasishtha and others, Adhya Rajye Vishekshyami Bharatam Dharma Vatsalam Ayodhyaya Patim Veera Tato Yasyam Yaham Vanam. Today I am going to coronate Dharmavatsala Bharata as king. And I will immediately thereafter leave for the forest. Fetch all the materials needed, let there be no delay, for I wish to, on this very day that Lakshmana has gone, I wish to leave. When they heard him say this, whoever was there, including the subjects who were nearby, all of them felt as if their very life was departing from them, and they all just, without being able to say anything, they just prostrated on the ground to Rama. All of them. Bharatascha visangyo bhut shutva raghava bhashitam rajyam vigarhayamasa raghavam chedam abravit. And Bharata, he too simply fainted. He just fell down unconscious, immediately gathered himself. First thing he said was, no kingdom for me. Kingdom, I don't want the kingdom. He said, I swear in the name of truth and all the prospects, all my prospects of heaven, I swear in the name of that, O king. I have no use for the kingdom without you. Let Kusha and Lava be consecrated as kings, your sons. Kusha in the Koshala country, and Lava in Uttara Koshala country. Rama, let messengers be sent with all speed to Shatrughna, who is in Mathura, to apprise him about your decision. Nobody spoke anything. Rama was silent. Vasishtha spoke. He said, Rama, my child, all these subjects are all still lying on the ground. He said, look at these subjects. All of them prostrated on the ground. Rama has to be told what he should do. So he said, Vasishtha said, you must look at these subjects who are prostrated on the ground. You must ascertain their wishes and do accordingly. You must not go against their wishes. Fascinating thing about Dharma. Rama has less of a choice than Bharata has. Bharata has to answer Rama. Rama has to answer the entire kingdom. He can't decide, I'm going. So Vasishtha gently tells him, you have to ascertain their wishes. They are your subjects. Even Dasharatha, when he was wanting to anoint Rama as a king, he went and firstly he ascertained, he socialized the idea with the people and ascertained what they thought, what their wishes were, and then only he proceeded. When all of them had said it's a good idea. So when Vasishtha had said this, Rama raised up the people and he asked them, Kim karomi? What should I do? And they all told him, Paureshu yadite priti yadi sneho yanuttama saputradara kakustha samam gacchama satpatham. This is king. If you have any love and affection for all of us, then please allow us to bring our wives and children, our families, and to come along with you wherever you go. We shall go with you, Rama, wherever you go. Tapovanam va durgam va nadim ambo nidhim tatha vayam te yadina tyajya sarvanno naya Ishvara. O Ishvara, they said. Whether you go to the forest for tapasya, or whether you go to the mountains, or whether you go to some river, or you go to the ocean or the sea, wherever it is that you decide to go, if it is that we are not worthy of being abandoned by you, then please take us with you. That will give us the highest happiness, and that is the boon we seek from you, O King. For we have always in our heart wanted to be only where you are. Rama saw them, he saw the staunch devotion, and he said, okay, yes. And then Kusha and Lava were called forth, they were consecrated as the king of Koshala and Uttara Koshala. He crowned them, Rama himself crowned them. Then he made them sit on his lap one by one. He made them sit on his lap and he kissed them on their crown. And then formally he allotted to them of the wealth, the chariots, the horses, the elephants, the jewelry, the treasury, all of that. And then he told them, you may go. Ippokaramla. So he sent them off, Kusha and Lava, along with the counselors to their respective places, and then messengers were sent to Shatrughna, who was in Mathura. Swiftly, messengers went in all urgency without any stop on the way, without any halt on the way. They reached Mathura after a 3-day journey. And they asked to see Shatrughna in all urgency. Message from Ayodhya. They met Shatrughna, they told him what has happened. They told him that Lakshmana has been abandoned. It is not that Lakshmana has left his body, etc. They don't know. Once he's been abandoned, he's abandoned. About Rama's decision, about the crowning of Lava and Kusha, all of that they told him. That Kusha has been given the capital in a place called Kushavati, and Lava has been given his capital of his kingdom in a place in Shravasti. They told him of the resolve of Bharata to go with Rama and all the people's decision to vacate Ayodhya and go with Rama. And they told him all this and then told him, make haste, O king. He heard this news, dreadful news of the imminent extinction of the family. He quickly summoned the chief priest of Mathura, Kanchana, told him, this is the status, and that I shall be joining my brothers in their imminent departure. And then he crowned his 2 sons, Subahu at Mathura and Shatrugati in Vidisha. Vidisha, Shravasti, Mathura, all of them exist now. Then he departed all by himself in a single chariot, by himself alone, to Ayodhya immediately. And he reached non-stop, and straight he went to see Rama, Mahatma, Sadadarsha Mahatmanam, Jvalantamiva Pavakam, Sukshmakshau Mambaradaram Munibhi Sardhamakshaye. There he saw Rama was sitting along with the Munis of Akshaya power, as endless power. He was sitting there in the darbar. He was like a blazing fire. Rama was like a blazing fire. He was clad in a very soft silk, fine silk. Straight away Shatrughna prostrated full length on the ground, and then he got up with his hands folded, with his senses under control, gathering himself totally, choosing his words. Shatrughna was very well versed in dharma. He told Rama, "O king, I have come. I have crowned my two sons in Mathura and Vidisha. And I have come resolved to follow you wherever you go. You must not say no, O king, for I would not like your orders to be disobeyed, least of all by me." Rama looked at him. He saw that Shatrughna was very earnest. Seeing his earnestness, he told him, "Very well, it may be as you wish." And then meanwhile, the messages had gone to the apes, the Rakshasas. All of them started landing up. Sugriva landed up with all the apes. Vibhishana and the Rakshasas, they landed up. All of them came, and they had all heard of the news of the imminent departure of Rama. And they all came and they told him of their resolve also to follow him. They told him, "If you should go, O Rama, without us, you would be destroying us as good as you would hit us with a Yamadanda." This is what Sugriva told Rama. And hearing Sugriva say this, Rama replied, "Sakhe shunusva Sugriva nutvayaham vinakrita gaccheyam devalokam va paramam va padam mahat." Sakhe Sugriva, my friend Sugriva, listen. Without you, I would not go to Devalokam. I would not even go to Parabrahma Swarupam. Without you, I cannot go. And then he told Vibhishana, "King, so long as there are subjects to rule in Lanka, so long should you rule there, Vibhishana, you must not leave this body of yours. So long as the sun shines in the sky and the moon shines in the night and the earth remains, my story will be current on the earth. And I, with the privilege of being your friend, Vibhishana, enjoin upon you this duty which you must discharge without fail. You must rule Lanka until the sun and the moon remains. You must rule your people with dharma. And I will not listen to any objection from you." And I have one more request, he said. "Kinchanyad vaktumichhami Rakshasendra Mahabala Aradhaya Jagannatham Ikshvakukuladaivatam Aradhaniyam Manisham Devairapi Savasavai. And I wish to tell you one more thing, O king. You must worship the Ikshvakukula's God, the titular deity of my family, Jagannatha. Whom even Indra and the gods should worship constantly, I hand over my family deity, Jagannatha, to you for your worship. And Vibhishana promised to do that. Then Rama turned to Hanuman and told him, Hanuman, when you went, you were resolved to go on living on the earth. Stick to that resolve. Do not break your vow. So long as my story is heard on earth, you should live, delighting in it and obeying my wish. O lordly ape. Rama, when Rama told him this, Hanuman was supremely happy. And he made his submission. He said, Yavat tava katha loke vicharishyati pavane tavat sthasyami me dinyam tavangyam anupalayan. So long as your sanctifying story is current in this world, so long shall I remain on this earth observing your command. Tava anyam anupalayan. Then Rama turned to Jambavan and to Mainda and Dvivida, and he told the three of them, you should all live in this world till the end of Kali Yuga. So it is that from this Ramayana set, Vibhishana, Hanuman, Jambavan, Mainda and Dvivida were asked to live till the end of time. At dawn the next day, he said this, and then he told the rest of all the other apes and the Rakshasas, you can all come with me just as you wished. And next morning, the great Rama of mighty chest and lotus eyes, he told his chief priest, let the sacred fires for the Yagyashala of the king, there will be the constant 3 fires which will be offered worship. Let the sacred fires be kindled into a blaze and be carried in front. And let the Brahmanas go with it. And may also it be accompanied by the umbrella that honors the offerer of the Vajapaya sacrifice. For the one who offers Vajapaya sacrifice, a chhatram, an umbrella is given as an honor, that should go in front of Rama. Thereupon, there were some rites and rituals that had to be done before the great departure. Vasishtha did all that very properly, and then they were all set to go. They started. Tatah sukshmam varadharo brahmanavartayan param kushan grihitva panibhyam sarayu prayayavata. Clad in fine silk, fine clothes, Rama, Brahmam avartayan param. He was, his call it mantra or call it mind or call it contemplation or fixing the mind, whatever it was, on Parabrahmam. And in his hand he was holding kusha grass and started walking towards the Sarayu river. He was uttering no word. He made no gesture to anyone. In absolute silence, minding no discomfort on the way, he stepped out and stepped forth like the blazing sun. Ramasya dakshine parshve sapadma shrirupashrita savye picha mahi devi vyavasayasthatagratah. Suddenly you could see this divine spectacle that on the left of Rama, Goddess Lakshmi was walking with a lotus in her hand. And on the right of Rama, Bhudevi, goddess of earth, was walking. And in front of Rama, Devi Vyavasaya, the goddess who is the power of all enterprise, she was in front. Like when Arjuna is battling in the Mahabharata, unknown to everybody, in front of him Shiva is there. Shiva is shooting everybody before Arjuna's arrow goes. Shiva's Trishulam has killed them. Then Arjuna's arrow goes. Like that, with his own power of enterprise as a goddess is in front of him. And then every weapon of Rama, every kind of arrow, his bow and all the other weapons, Divyastrams, everything that was his, they all took a human form and accompanied him. They were all walking by his side. Veda Brahmana Rupena Gayatri Sarvarakshini Onkaro Tavashatkara Sarve Rama Manuvrata. The four Vedas had taken the form of four Brahmanas and was walking. The Gayatri mantra had taken the form of a Devi, all protecting Devi, Sarvarakshini. She was walking. So also was Omkara, Vashatkara and other Vedic mantras were walking with him, taking form. The Rishis were walking, the Vaidikas were walking, and Valmiki says the doors of heaven had been flung wide open. All doors are open in Vaikuntham. Bharata and with Rama behind him, all his palace people, the women in the Anthapuram, the servants, the attendants, all of the people in his palace, they were walking. Then after that, Bharata, his palace, his people, Shatrughna, their palace, their people, their sacrifice, their yajna fires in front, all of them were walking in the wake of Rama. All the Vaidikas of Ayodhya were walking with their household fires, following Rama along with their wives and children. Then all the mantris, the counselors of Rama, all the children of Ayodhya, all the animals now, the cattle, the whole of Ayodhya started walking behind him. All of them, their mind only on Rama they were walking. Tatah sastri puman saste sapakshi pashubandhava ragavasyanuga sarve ragavasyanuga sarve hrishta vigata kalmasha. All people, all birds, all beasts, all of them happy, freed from any kind of stain. They were all walking with Rama. The entire ape assembly, all the apes, they all went and jumped into the Sarayu. They bathed. They were in a festive mood. And they were all indulging in typical monkey chattering, it seems. Chatter in Sarayu, they were all chattering. And they were all feeling well fed and happy. And they were all clearly, they were resolved on following Rama wherever he went. There was nobody among the birds, the beasts, the men, there was nobody who was looking sad. Nobody was pulling a long face, woebegone, depressed, nothing. They were all, nobody was unhappy in reality. All of them were happy. That must be a scene. All of them, bears, apes, rakshasas, all of them. Ecstasy of bhakti, it seems. They are at peace with themselves, rakshasas. All of them at peace with themselves. And then more interestingly, all the disembodied spirits, the ghosts, the pishachas in Ayodhya that had haunted the city, they also had said, we'll also going. Who will they haunt? There's nobody here now. Anyway, so they also said, we'll go with Rama. So the disembodied spirits, they also followed Rama. Valmiki says, in fact, everything stationary and moving that saw Rama go on his way started along. Hum bhi chalte. We are also going. There was not to be found in Ayodhya even the most insignificant creature that breathed. Not even a germ. Not a sea, which included those of the lowest forms of creation who did not give their whole allegiance to Rama. Ardhayojanam adyardhayojanam gatva nadim paschan mukhashitam sarayum punya salilam tadarsha raghunandana. Having walked a yojana and a half, Rama came upon the river Sarayu, which lay before him as he faced west. There were swirling whirlpools in the river. Atat tasmin muhurte tu brahmaloka pitamaha sarvai parivruto devai rishibhischa mahatmabhi ayayav yatra kakutstha swargaya samupastita vimanasatakotibihi divyabhirabhisamvrtah. And when Rama was standing there, the sky lit up as Brahma arrived in the sky. And he was surrounded by all the devas and the rishis and mahatmas. And there was 100 crores, Shatakotibhi, Divyabhirabhisamvrta, 100 crore vimanas of devas filling up the sky. The devas themselves lighting up the sky by their own radiance. And all of them came, the sky lit up. And a beautiful purifying breeze, fragrance started blowing. A great flood of flowers started falling from the sky. And Gandharvas and Apsaras, all of them. The sky was steaming with them. Rama then, unmoved, he approached the waters of Sarayu on foot. Thereupon, Brahma addressed him from the sky and said, Agacha Vishnu Bhadram te Dishtya Praptosi Raghava. Agacha Vishnu. Welcome Vishnu, Mahavishnu. May all be well with you. It is our greatest good fortune that you have come. You may now decide to re-enter your own original primordial form along with your brothers. You can either enter the body of Vishnu, Vaishnavim Tanum, Vaishnavim Tam Mahatejo Yadvakasham Sanatanam, or you may decide, if you wish, you may choose to enter the Sanatana Akasha, the eternal space, the great void. You alone are the gati, the goal of all that exists, O Rama. And no one can understand you. Natvam kechit prajanate. If there's anybody who understands you as you truly are, it is only Vishalakshi, the divine Maya, your primordial spouse. She alone can understand you. You are that. Ritvam achintyam mahadbhutam akshayam chajaram tatha. You are beyond the mind. You are eternal. You do not age. You are the goal of all the worlds, O Rama, and now you may decide which form do you want to return to. Whichever form, whichever body you wish to enter, you may do so. Rama heard that. He made up his mind to decide to enter, to reunite with his own form as Vishnu. And as soon as he did that, Tato Vishnumayam Devam Pujayanti Sma Devata Sadhya Marudgana Chaiva Sendra Sagni Purogamaha. Immediately the gods, the Devas, the Sadhyas, the Maruts, Indra, Agni, Bhagavan, everybody started worshipping Mahavishnu. The sages, the Gandharvas, the Apsaras, the Garudas, the Nagas, the Pannagas, the Yakshas, the Daityas, the Danavas, the Rakshasas, all of them started offering worship to Mahavishnu. And they all said, they rejoiced, all their wishes fulfilled, Mahavishnu was back. And then Rama as Mahavishnu told Brahma, there are all these who have come with me. You must please allot them a place where they can live. Brahma said, all those that have come with you shall go to the worlds known as Santanikas. Any creature of whatever, any creature, lower form, higher form, any creature which actually gives up its life while with its thoughts on you will go to that region called Santanikas. And those that who have come with you will all go there. As far as the bears and the apes are concerned, they are all forms of devas who had come for your purpose. They will all go and rejoin their own original form as those devas. So no sooner he said that, Sugriva entered the orb of the sun. And the others joined their respective deva forms. And in the physical realm, it was happening. So all of them, whereas it was happening there, it was happening here. So all of them here, including Rama, etc., the body, they were all went to a place called Gopratara. Gopratara in the Ghats, the Ghat of Sarayu Ghat called Gopratar Ghat. Eyes turbid with joy, all of them eyes happy with joy. Every living creature that bathed in that Sarayu now just shuffled the mortal coil and ascended into the Vimana that was waiting for them. Thousands and thousands of lower creation went to heaven, shining like gods. All things stationary and moving went wet with the waters of Sarayu direct to heaven. The apes, the bears, the Rakshasas, all of them. Nammarvar, the first of Arvars, Vaishnava saints, has said in a verse, Karpa Ramapiranayallal Matrum Karparo Purpa Mudala Pul Yerumbadi Ondri Indriye Narpal Ayudhil Vazhum Characharam Muttravum Narpalaku Uyattanan Nanmuganar Petra Nattule Karpa Ramapiranayallal Matrum Karparo. Is there anything at all to learn? If somebody wants to learn something, would they learn anything other than Rama? That's number one. Beginning with the pull, low grass, yerumbu, ant, nothing whatever. He took everything in his city, every moving, every still, he took everything born of the Lord of four faces, every piece of creation, he took them all to the very best of states. ततः समागतान् सर्वान् स्थाप्य लोकगुरुर्दिवि हृष्टैः प्रमुदितैः देवैः जगाम त्रिदिवं महत्. Having established thus the arrivals in the new homes, the Lord of Lords went to high heaven. Thus ends the second last chapter of Valmiki Ramayanam, the last chapter being the Phalashruti. I came across a few days ago a book written by a great Rama Bhakta called Subramanya Shastri of Pattamadai, the Tamraparni river, Karai, where Swami Shivananda hails from. Subramanya Shastri lived from 1830 to 1910, and he's written a beautiful Ramayana called Pramana Ramayana, where he is absolutely Sara Sangraha of Valmiki Ramayana in about 680 verses. It has got all the kandas and everything is there in that. So in that, in the end, there is a Mangala Shlokam. So the Mangala Shlokam is this. Nitayena kharadayo nishichara pretadipasyantikam jetadarunaravane samitiyat bhrata sumitratmajah Sita kelirataya samsriti sarit potaya tasmai trayi gitaya turagudvahaya mahate putatmane mangalam. Nitayena kharadayo nishichara. He who had taken all the Rakshasas from Khara onwards to the abode of Yama, he had sent them. He whose brother, the son of Sumitra, had slain Indrajit. He who loved sporting with Sita, and he who is the boat for us to cross the samsara, sagara. He who is praised by, he is sung by Gitayastu, Trayi. The three Vedas sing of him. He, the Gita, the Upanishads and the Vedas sing of him. He, the greatest of Raghus, the one of pure Atma. He, the great Mahan, Mangalam. See, I was talking to Mohan Rama Dikshidhar, who comes from the lineage of those who have been Vaidikas and who have been steeped in the lore of Ramayana for countless generations, who have been a family that has been doing Agnihotra for 30-40 generations. Telling him that Ramayana is getting over. He couldn't come. He was in some other place. He is not in Chennai today. So he was saying that, you see, he was very happy. He said, the thing is, it is the Ramayana that for whatever reason has been generation after generation after generation, it has been a part of what has to be studied. All the people, irrespective of how, what, which, they may be the greatest of Jnanis, they may be a simple common man, everyone will read the Ramayana. A person may be well versed in Mahabharatam, Bhagavatam and Ramayanam, and in those days, 50 years ago, they would all be called Ramayana Shastri. Not Bhagavata Shastri or Bharata Shastri. And for example, he said, and looking back during the course of our journey, we have touched many Mahans who have been doing with Ramayana, who have had, including the great commentators of Ramayana. We have had some opportunity to see some of the commentaries to a small extent, whatever our brain can accommodate. Govindarajas, Bhushanam, Tilaka, then Dharmakutam and Shiromani and others. And then the great people like Muttannaval, Parthur Krishna Shastri, etc., etc., whoever all. Parthur Krishna Shastri is supposed to be literally the father of the modern form of Navaham. Passed away somewhere around 1908, I think, 1910. And in Madras, he could bring 10,000 people without mic. He could speak his Ramayanam and they would listen. And the British would be amazed to see how he could make 10,000 people shout Jai Jai Sri Rama Rama at the same time. Parthur Sri Krishna Shastri, Parthur is a village near in Tanjore. It can be gone now also. It's got a beautiful temple. There's a lovely, one of the finest bronze images of Rama was discovered by him, because in his dream Rama came and told him, I am lying buried here in your village in this pond. He dug it, it was there. He made a temple, a shrine for it in the Varadaraj Perumal temple there. It's one of the finest, as beautiful as the Vaduvur bronze of Rama. Rama is there. So the great soul, he learnt the entire thing, the entire Vedanta, all of that, the Kavya, Tarka, the whole traditional thing. But then when he got a job with Travancore kings for teaching Vedanta, and he had gone to his guru to tell him that I have got this job, I would like to go. He had told him that the Vedanta that I have taught you is not meant for sale. You cannot sell it for a salary. Then he had said, then what will I do for my stomach? He gave him the Ramayana and said, go tell. This will give you Shema. So he had started. And he had also learned from a very great, another great, they used to see for different parts of different learning, they would go to different people. So he had from a very great sage scholar who is even now called Periva, is called Mannargudi Periva. Raju Shastrigal, there was a great sage called Mannargudi Raju Shastrigal. He was a Vedantin par excellence. He has trained thousands of people. He was given the Mahopadhyaya award by the British government, which he decided he cannot come to Delhi to collect. So they said, can you please come to the collectorate and collect it from the collector in your district? He said, I cannot come there. The collector had to come to his house and give it. Because I cannot go. I have my Agnihotram to do. I cannot go anywhere. So Krishna Shastri learned from him as well. And about that person, the only thing about Raju Shastri was that all was fantastic, except he had a fierce temper. And if he thought that the student was not worth it, he would kick him out. So he even kicked out Krishna Shastri from his studentship at one time, and he came back. Now when he realized that his life in the earth was coming to an end, his body was frail, he called for Krishna Shastri and said, these are my last days. I want you to tell me the Ramayana. 3 months in his house he camped every day, telling him the Ramayana. Mohan Ram Dikshidhar said that somewhere just close to Rama Pattabhishekam he passed away. When the time to leave the body comes, leave everything aside. Rama is the only thing you can do. That's why Adi Shankara says in Rama Bhujanga Stotram, यथा वर्णयन् कर्णपूलेऽन्तकाले शिवो राम रामेति रामेति काश्याम् तदेकं परं तारकं ब्रह्मरूपं भजेऽहं 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 यथा वर्णयन् कर्णपूलेऽन्तकाले. In Kashi, when a person is dying, Shiva is going from body to body to body in the ghat and is whispering and telling in the right ear Rama, 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 Rama and liberating them. Says Adi Shankara and Rama Bhujanga Stotram. Tadekam param tarakam brahma rupam. That one tarakam brahma rupam, I worship, I worship, I worship, I worship, says Adi Shankara. Bhajeham, 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 bhajeham. What to say even in the case of, I myself was blown out of my mind when Sulochana Mami passed away after listening to Ramayana. I could not understand. This when it happens to you and you see that you don't know, what is this? It was electrifying. How could it be? Some arbitrary fellow like me telling her she's 10 minutes later she's gone. No. This is the thing, Rama. This verse that I sang, this Mangalam verse, Subramanya Shastrigal, apparently he used to stay in Pattamade. He would not even go on a cart because it might hurt an animal. And he was constantly doing Ramanama, and he wrote this beautiful piece which was never published till 80 years. It was lying in a palm leaf. His grandchildren somehow pulled it out. They got some experts to see what is written in Grantham. They went to Singeri Acharya. He gave a Srimukam. They started publishing it. They published only later. So many 100 years later, it's come. Generation after generation in the family, they used to take apas sannyasa before they die. And in their family, they used to keep some name after Rama. And the Ramanavami bhajan, Ramanavami tradition they set in the family so many years ago still continues. So the great people in India have all been moved by the Rama. You may expend all your mind on everything which is philosophically fantastic, scholarly, beautiful to see in the world, great to do, anything and everything. But at the end of the day, when the reality of having to go comes, it will have to be Rama. So to remembering all the great people who have taken us in this path, we'll talk a few things and then we'll come to the Falashruti. One. So Rama's story we have been hearing for all these years, and what is it? That Kshemendra of Kashmir is in the news. The great Kshemendra was a great poet of Kashmir who wrote in Ramayana and in Sanskrit. He's a Kashmiri. And he said about Ramayana, Sarvam Dukkhamayam Tadastu Bhavatam Shlagyo Vivekodaya. Everything in Ramayana is sorrowful, he said. Sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. Everywhere sorrow. Why did Sita do? Why did Vali do? Everywhere Rama, Lakshmana went, Rama is gone. Everywhere sorrow. And therefore there arises Viveka, the discernment. I was listening to a lecture by Swami Akhandananda Saraswati. Viveka and Vairagya go together, right? So if you have Viveka, then it will lead to Vairagya. And Vairagyam will therefore lead you to whatever is your way, whether it is Bhakti, Jnana, whatever, it's all a part of that. So, what is Viveka? It's not tough. So they say, for example, that you must try to, as a part of your spiritual sadhana, you must try to do Viveka like Nitya, Anitya Viveka. Say what is eternal, what is not eternal, what is transient, you must reject, what is eternal, you must try to accept or hold. Or they say Jada Chetana Viveka, what is lifeless and what is actually consciousness, you must do the Viveka of that. But Akhandananda Saraswati Swami says, more than these two, there is one more Viveka, which is the one that quickly leads to Vairagya. These two take time. You can do Nitya Nitya Viveka, Jada Chetana Viveka, it will take time. But if you do Sukha Dukkha Viveka, it's quick. When you realize that Sarvam Dukkhamayam, everything is sorrow, ultimately who is not sorrowing? Everything is sorrow. When you realize, then Vairagya comes. And Ramayana plays a role there. And Maharaj Sri, that is Swami Akhandananda Saraswati says, God in His infinite compassion, only when the God's great compassion dawns upon you will you get Vairagyam. And every opportunity in your life which is there for you to say, now take this opportunity and understand that there is dukkham and therefore get Vairagyam. Every such opportunity is extremely a great blessing and is very difficult to get. Durlabha I says. When you are hit by the truck of sorrow, know that it is not everybody who is blessed to be hit, he says. That's an opportunity for Vairagya. And then what after Vairagya? You have to go for Jnana, right? Ravana is Ahankara, Ajnana. Ko ahankaro iti prokta yaksha prashnam. What is ahankara? Says yaksha. Yudhishthira says mahagyano ahankara. Ajnanam is ahankara. So now coming back to Ramayanam. Ramayanam we saw, we have gone from the first to the end, except for the Falashruti. The first verse we started was Tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidam varam naradam paripapracha Valmikir Muni Pungavam. Tapaswadhyaya niratam. First was when Narada came, full of tapasya and swadhyaya. He was the greatest of most eloquent of speakers. He came and he questioned Valmiki, the greatest of munis, and he asked him some questions. This is how it starts. Who is there in this world who has got all these qualities? A beautiful set of questions. But it starts with tapaswadhyaya niratam. And it ends, we saw the last verse that we saw now. Tatah samagatan sarvan sthapya loka gururdivi hristai pramuditai devai jagamatibhitridivam mahat. Alright. So it starts with tapaswadhyaya niratam. In Sanskrit there is a saying, takaro vignanashaka, takaro saukhyadayaka. The ta, starting with ta, is considered mangalam. It removes obstacles, vignanashaka, saukhyadayaka, it gives you saukhyam. It's an auspicious start, like in Tamil, the starting with u is auspicious. Ulladhanarpal starts with U. Kambaramayanam starts with U. Shivapuranam starts with U. Tapaswadhyaya niratam, ta start. And the masters have told us and they have pointed out the verses. Every approximately 1000th verse in Ramayana will have the next letter of Gayatri Mantra. So in 24,000 verses, the Gayatri Mantra is covered. So starting with Tatsavitur Varenyam, that is Ta, is Tapaswadhyaya niratam. And Diyo Yunha Prachodayat, that Ta ends in this verse. Tatah samagatan starvan sthapya loka gururdivi hristai pramuditai devai jagamati divam mahat. So whether Uttarakanda is part of Valmiki Ramayana or not, one of our masters say it is. Because the Gayatri Mantra is covered only when you cover the last verse of Uttarakanda. Now we know that the first verse of any treatise and the first word of the first verse of any treatise is important. Almost always a great message is given by the master in that verse, in that first word of the first verse of the treatise, and usually connecting the first and the last as well. So we take the Bhagavad Gita, it says Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. It will start Dharma, it will start, and it will end in Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishno Yatrapato Dhanudha Tatrashi Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. So it will start with Dharma, Dhar, and will end in Ma. So the whole of it is covered is Dharma. The first word is Dharma, the entirety is Dharma. It is all about Dharma. The masters say about Bhagavad Gita. So likewise, if we take this, we take Valmiki Ramayana, it starts with tapas. We may take it that the Valmiki Ramayana is about tapas. Tapas. Almost when we read about very different masters and the disciples who come to them, on any number of occasions you will come across one disciple going and asking his master after a lot of exasperation and lot of sadhana, Master, what is tapas? Whether it is to Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, whether it is Swami Brahmananda, whether it is Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, some fellow will go and ask, tell me what is tapas? Katha Upanishad. That is a long session by itself. But to cut to the point, this is about tapas. And one short sutra about tapas is tapa alochane. Tapa is contemplation on the absolute. Tapa is atma vichara. Tapa is contemplation on the truth of the Vedanta, of the Upanishad. Tapa is contemplation of the truth of the Gita. This question is asked in Yaksha Prashnam as well. Yaksha asks Yudhishthira, what is tapas? Tapah kim lakshanam proktam, he says. That is the lakshana of tapasya, he asks Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira says, tapah swadharma vartitvam. Tapa is abiding in one's swadharma. So tapa is a range from abiding in swadharma to abiding in self. The contemplation that goes with it, all of that is tapas. Tapas. And Ramayana starts with tapaswadhyaya niradam, ends in the word mahat, so it starts with ta and ends in it. So if you just take the first letter and the last letter is tat. And what is tat? Om Tat Sat. Tat Savituruvarenyam. That Brahman. And the Ramayana is Gayatri Swarupam. Gayatri is the heart of the Veda. Gayatri is the heart of the Ramayana, means the Ramayana is the Veda. Which is why there is the old shloka of Agastya Samhita which says, Vedya Vedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharatatmaje Veda Pracheta Sadasit Sakshat Ramayanam Atmana Tasmad Ramayanam Devi Vedevana Samshaya. Shiva tells Parvati in Agastya Samhita that what is that Veda Vedye, that which is to be understood and learnt and realized from the Veda, that supreme truth is born as Rama, the son of Dasharatha. And the Veda has been written by Valmiki in the form of Ramayana, Because when Mahavishnu comes, the Veda has to come with him. And therefore, O Devi, Ramayana is the Veda, there is no doubt about it, he says. Which is why, if you take the Ramayana, any Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, you read, at the end of it, it will say, Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane Valmiki Adikavye, so and so Chaturvimshi Sahasikayam Samhitayam Ayodhya Kande Pratama Sarga. Ityarshe means of Rishi. This is a revelation to a Rishi. Rishi revelation means Veda. Now we'll come to one small point, then we'll come to the Falashruti. So now, if you take these verses, the first verse we said Tapaswadhyaya Niratam. And the last one was Jagama Tridivam Mahat, it ends in. So if I take the first word of the first verse and the last word of the last verse of Ramayanam, it is Tapa and Mahat. What is this great tapasya? Kimidam Mahat Tapam. That Bhagavan Sri Ramana says in the 30th verse. I was wondering why is he saying Mahadidam Tapo? Ahamapetakam nijavibhanakam mahadidam tapo ramana bhagiyam. When the I, the individual I, falls and the effulgence of the self is seen, that is Mahad Tapas, he says. And Ramayana is about that. Rama is that effulgence. Mahatavam, even Tamil also in Upadeshandhyaya he says Mahatapa, not tapas. Mahadidam tapo. Fascinating that it should be like that in. Now we come to the epilogue, which even now Kusha and Lava are relating this Ramayana. Like in a movie, in a flashback. So they're doing that. So he's telling that. So they said that thus far runs the most important of epics known as Ramayana and Uttarakandam, we composed by Valmiki, etc., etc. Vishnu pervades all the three worlds, stationary, moving, returned to heaven, his permanent home. They're telling Rama that Vishnu returned. They're telling his future to him. And every day, the gods, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the great sages heard the divine poem Ramayana sung in heaven. Idamakhyanam ayushyam saubhagyam papanashanam Ramayanam veda samam shraddheshu shravayed buddha. Idamakhyanam ayushyam, this Ramayana gives you long life. Ayushyam, saubhagyam, good fortune, papanashanam, destroys your sin. Veda samam, it is equivalent to Veda. Samam is not equivalent. In Vedanta, sama is not equivalent, my teacher taught me. In Vedanta, sama means the same. Not similar, not equal, it's same. Jiva, Brahmam, samam means not they are equivalent, it's the same. Ramayana Veda samam means it is the Veda. Shraddheshu Shravayed Buddha. In Shraddha, in your house, the wise people will chant it. Well, in tradition, when the Brahmanas are eating, having their food, after the rice has been served, the ghee has been put, when they start eating, at that time, you start reading the Ramayana till they eat. This is the tradition. Some people follow it, even now. He says in Valmiki Ramayanam, Shraddeshu Shravayet Buddha. Aputro labate putram adano labate dhanam sarvapapai pramuchet padamapyasya yappatet. The person who has no childless couple will get a child. The poor people will get dhanam. Those who don't have money will get money. Sarvapapai pramuchet. Even if you read a bit of the Ramayana, all your papas will go. Papanyapi chaya kuryat ahanyahani manava patati ekamapi shlokam papatsa parimuchyate. But no, Baba, I have done too much papa. It's not possible. So Valmiki says, ahani, oh. Any person, even if he has gone on committing sins every day, day after day, even he, if he should read one shlokam of Ramayana, he will be freed from the sins. Vachakaya chadatavyam vatram dhenu hiranyakam vachake paritushthetu tushtasyu sarvadevata. The reciter of the Ramayana, some fellow is there, the teller of the Ramayana, to him he should be given vastram, clothes, dhenu, cow, hiranyam, gold. Why? Vachake paritushthetu. When the reciter is happy, tushta hasyu sarvadevata, all gods are happy. Etadakhyanamaayushyam patan Ramayanam narah saputra pautro lokesmin pretyacheha mayate. The man who reads this story, which is conducive to long life, Ayushyam, he'll be blessed with sons, grandsons, children, grandchildren, and will be held in honor here and in the hereafter. Ramayanam go visarge madhyane vasamahita sayanhe vaparanhe cha vachayannavasidati. Any person who reads with a composed mind Ramayana either at dawn or in the noon or in the afternoon or in the evening, any time, is not afflicted with sorrow. And then Lavakusha tell Rama that after you go, when the whole of Ayodhya has also gone with you, not to worry. Ayodhya will be deserted for many years, but later one king called Rishabha will come and again Ayodhya will prosper. So he tells about this Ramayana, and Valmiki says in this Kavyam, Brahma has himself put his seal of approval. Like when Goswami Tulsidas had written the Ramacharita in Hindi, people did not accept. This is the great tradition in India. You can be a great scholar, you cannot be accepted. Some God will have to come and approve, then only you will be accepted. This countless stories, whether it's Kamba Ramayanam or it's Tulsi Ramayanam. You would think that a Tulsidas would be, when he has written Tulsi Ramayanam, that should do, or Kamban has written Kamba Ramayanam, that should do. No, that will not do. People will not accept. 1,000 objections will be there. So Tulsidas they said that only Kashi Vishwanath will say it is, otherwise Sanskrit, how can you write in Hindi? Only Kashi Vishwanath approves. So they gave the pothi, they kept it in Kashi Vishwanath overnight in the temple in the Garbhagram. They kept a lot of other things on top. Morning they came, this one was on top, and on it was written Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Just like Kamba Ramayanam, that's a longer story. Had to get an approval firstly from the Chidambaram Dikshidhars, because he had written in Tamil. The Sanskrit Pandita said, you go get it from Chidambaram Dikshidhars. Chidambaram Dikshidhars are not going to give you the time of the world. So it's an interesting story. Finally, the approval had to come from them as well as later from the Srirangam. It had to come directly from Lord Narasimha, then only they approved. Prayagadini tirtha. Sorry. So what is it? Ashwamedha sahasrasya vajapeyayutasya cha labate shravanadeva sargaschaikasya manavah. If you but listen to a single canto of Ramayana, you get the same fruits as having done 1,000 Ashwamedha yagyas or 10,000 Vajapeya yagyas. Something to make people listen to it. प्रयागादीनि तीर्थानि गंगाद्याः सरितस्तथा नैमिषादीनि ररण्यानि कुरुक्षेत्रादिकान्यपि गतानि तेन लोकेऽस्मिन् येन रामायणं श्रुतम्. If you heard the whole of the Ramayana, you reap the pilgrimages, the fruits of pilgrimage, things such as having made a pilgrimage to Prayaga, like now in Kumbh Mela, you go to Prayaga, yes, you listen here to Ramayana. Or bathing in Ganga or in any of the sacred streams or visiting Naimisharanya or Kurukshetra. If you have listened to the Ramayana, Hemabharam Kurukshetre Gaste Bhanu Prayachati Yascha Ramayanam Loke Shunoti Sadrisha Vubhav. In Kurukshetra during solar eclipse, to go to Kurukshetra, go to that particular, there is a special huge pond there associated with the Kurukshetra or with the solar eclipse. There you go and then you gift your weight in gold. You do a dhanam of your own weight in gold. What punyam you will get? You will get by listening to the Ramayana. Samyak Shraddha Samayukta Shrunute Ragavim Katham Sarva Papa Pramuchyeta Vishnu Lokam Sagacchati. But you must listen to it with faith and undistracted attention. The story of Rama. Then you'll be freed from all sins and you'll go to Vishnu's world. And today morning, he reminded me, Mohan Rama Diksha reminded me, this Falashruti verse that I'm going to tell you now comes earlier after Pattabhishekam itself. It says, Shravanena suraha sarve priyante saprashunvatam vinayaka chashamyanti grihe tishthanti yasya vai. You see, these planetary problems, some planet will cause some problem or the other according to people who believe in it, right? So, horoscopes are there, astrology is there. If not this planet, that planet, Shani or Rahu or Durga, or that is in the wrong place, Ketu, or that is in the wrong place, this is in the wrong place. All of that, planetary afflictions. All the grahas are pacified by listening to Ramayana. So he specifically said that. And in fact, if you listen to Shengali from Antaram Dikshita's 35 cassette Valmiki Ramayana and come to the end of it, he told Valmiki Ramayana, I think in Triplicane, near the Parthasarathi temple, those years ago, which is available. The record is available. So in the end he says Rajaji is there for that final occasion, that last talk. Rajaji also talks in that one. So he says this. The lines in the hand will change. வந்து சொன்னார், மூடி இந்த மில்லு திறந்துட்டோம். Mill was closed, opened. So this thing that without our understanding how it works, it works. Like a medicine, you don't know how it works, it works. Gayatriyacha Sarupam Tad Ramayanam Anuttamam. This peerless Ramayana is the embodiment of Gayatri mantra. He who wishes to attain the highest ends in life, Chintayet Raghavam Nityam Shreya praptum ya ichchati. He who wishes to end the highest ends of life should constantly meditate on Rama. Shravayet idamakhyanam brahmanebhyo dine dine. And he should listen to this Ramayana story as recited by some Brahmana every day. Call some fellow to read, sit and listen every day. Reading this every day has been a tradition in India. Morning or evening, every day. You might do a lakh of japam, but in addition to the lakh of japam, you have to read Ramayana. No, I am doing lakh of japam, I don't have to do. No. That lakh of japam will work only with. Yastidam Raghunathasya charitam sakalam patet soakshukshaye vishnulokam gacchatyevana samshaya. He who reads his entire story of Rama, he goes to Vishnuloka after his death, there is no doubt about it. And one of the great incentives, one of the great blessings of this treatise, Pita pitamahastasya tathaiva prapitamah tatpita chaiva vishnum yanti na samshaya. The person who reads the whole of Ramayana, his father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, his great-grandfather's father, that person's father, all of them will be liberated. For what reason do they say that in Shraddha you read this? One round you read of Ramayana as a Parayanam, from beginning to end. At least elders have said that you would have done your bit to liberate. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, all it gives, Ramayanam. Evam edat pura vrittam akyanam bhadramastuva pravyarta visrabdham balam vishno pravardhatam. Such is the story of things that happened long ago, says the last verse. Evam etat puravrittam akyanam. Lavakusha are ending it, saying, Bhadramastuvaha. May good be with all of you. May all good things happen to all of you. And then all of you proclaim without a care, Balam Vishnu Pravardhatam. May the power of Vishnu grow forevermore. Balam Vishnu Pravardhatam. In Ramcharitmanas, see, normally the paddhati of ending Ramayana is to do Rama Pattabhishekam. But in our case, since we did Jama Pattabhishekam, we did it in Yuddhakanda itself. And we have done Uttarakandam after that. Normally in Ramayana narration, most of the people will not cover Uttarakandam. Uttarakandam we started sometime in 2017. So we have taken a year and a half. That much time. So normally they don't come. Navaham, etc. They'll not come. Nobody will come. But then again, Mohan Rama Dikshita told me that it is covered by those who are interested in moksha. There is a fear that those who actually cover it will get sannyasa. So people don't go near it. Are a family. Unfortunately, you people will have to have some vairagyam will come from this. So, but nonetheless, since we said Rama Pattabhishekam, there is one shlokam in Tulsi Ramayana, in Rama Pattabhisheka Sargam of Tulsi Ramayana, in Sanskrit that Goswami Tulsidas has written. We'll say that, and with that we will cover this. Munimanasa Pankaja Bhringa Bhaje Raghubir Maharana Dhiraje तव नाम जपामि नमामि हरि भवरोगमहागदमानरी गुणशीलकृपा परमायतनं प्रणमामि निरन्तर श्रीरमणं रघुनन्दनिकन्दय द्वन्द्वघनं महिपालविलोकय दीनजनम् बलं विष्णोः प्रवर्धतां बलं विष्णोः प्रवर्धतां बलं विष्णोः प्रवर्धतां हर नमः पार्वतीपतये जानकीकान्तस्मरणं गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஸ்ரீ சத்குரு சுவாமினः श्री आंजनेय स्वामिनः